This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Seidenberg here with you. This is Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, and we got a goal as the Kings take a 1-0 lead over the Edmonton Oilers. Trevor Moore with the goal, and so with 8:46 to go in the first period, the Kings with a 1-0 lead. Your live total is now back up to 6.5 at -115. I hope those of you that are watching or listening to the show were able to get in at the over 5.5 when it was available, and we recommended playing the live bet on the over 5.5, as the live total now is back up to the pregame total of 6.5. Meanwhile, NBA action in Milwaukee right now, and it is the Pacers who have gotten off to a hot start. 23-15, the Pacers lead the Bucks with about 3 minutes to go in that first quarter. Leading the way for Indiana is Miles Turner with 9 points, and for Milwaukee, Giannis has 6 points with 3 rebounds. Brook Lopez also has 6 points. We talked about the Giannis points and the rebounds prop. The rebounds prop, which was juiced up to 13.5. That's not a number I wanted to dance with. His points prop was at 33.5. So he is at 6 points with 3 rebounds. The points and rebounds prop, though, was at 46.5. So, a little bit of, not necessarily a discount, but something that you could have maybe taken advantage of there. So 6 points and 3 rebounds so far for Giannis. 23-15, the Pacers lead the Bucks. And taking a look at your live markets right now, the Pacers a 3.5-point favorite with a live total of 223.5. Going inside the numbers a little bit further here in this game so far. Both teams not shooting well from three-point range, but then again, not shooting a lot of three-pointers. The Pacers 2 of 4. So 50%, and the Bucks 2 of 5, and only 1 trip to the free throw line for each team. 1 of 2 for both the Pacers and the Bucks from the free throw line. Pacers 10 of 16 though to start the game. They are shooting 62.5% from the field, while the Bucks are 6 of 16, 37.5 points percent from the field. For Damian Lillard, he is 0 of 2 from the field so far, and Gary Trent Jr., who was the reason why the Bucks had this monster second half in their last game. It was the Gary Trent Jr. game with the three-pointers. He is 0 of 1 from three-point range, so he hasn't exactly gotten that hot touch that he had in game number 3. But still early, just in the first quarter, 3 minutes left in the first quarter, and it is a 23-15 lead for the Pacers over the Milwaukee Bucks. The Phillies wound up closing that game out over the Cubs, 3-1 final. So all baseball games are a final for today. And again, there is no Sunday night fade, as both the Phillies and the Cubs are off tomorrow. There is one day game tomorrow, and it is the Mets against the Nationals in D.C. The Mets are a -165 favorite on the road. Nationals a +140 on the comeback. Griffin Canning gets the start for the Mets. Trevor Williams goes for the Nationals, and this is the Game 4 scenario, although I will say that this is the wraparound series. So it started on Friday with the 5-4 win by the Nationals, and then yesterday, a 2-0 win by the Mets. And yesterday, the Nationals win 8-7. So this is the trend of the home team in a 4-game series. And it's something that we've been tracking all season. I'll give you the updated numbers right now. If you look at just the home teams in Game 4 of a 4-game series, regardless of win or lose in your previous game, doesn't matter. The home team in Game 4 of a 4-game series, and that would be the that would be the Nationals here on Monday. The home teams are 14-2 straight up. If all you did was bet the home teams this year in Game 4 of a 4-game series in Major League Baseball, you are up $1,080. 14 wins and 2 losses. On the run line, 7-9. The totals, 10, 5, and 1 to the under. Now, if you are an underdog at home, I'm curious how you have done so far on the run line, because that's something that I might want to take a look at here for the Nationals. I mentioned the 14-2 straight up for any home team so far here in Game 4 of a 4-game series. Well, if that home team is an underdog, it's only happened one time this season. So of those 14-2, the 14 wins and 2 losses, 1 loss was by the home underdog. The Rays were a home dog to the Yankees. So the Nationals are a home dog here to the Mets. So it's rare that you get the home team here in the fourth game of a 4-game series as the dog, but that's what you have here for the Mets and the Nationals. And the Mets are looking to earn the split of the series. The Nationals looking to take 3 or 4 from the Mets. Honestly, at a plus money price, I know Griffin Canning has been fantastic to start the year for the Mets, and maybe that's not a fair word, but I mean, he's been good. Griffin Canning this year is 3-1 with a 3.12 ERA. But you get a nice little plus money price here on the Nationals. Might be worth a little bit of a flyer on the Nats. Meanwhile, the Twins are at the Guardians. It'll be Bailey Obear for Minnesota. Gavin Williams goes for Cleveland. Cleveland's a -120 favorite. Yankees are at the Orioles. We talked about this with our guest Greg Peterson, our very own Greg Peterson, earlier on the program. Will Warren's on the mound for the Yankees, and for the Orioles, it's Tomoyuki Saguano, and the total in this one is at 9.5. Now, the reason why I kind of lean towards the over here is because the Baltimore Orioles have been the best over team at home this year. Their offense can hit, they can't pitch. There's been a lot of overs happening at Camden Yards. A lot of first 5 overs as well. But also, we have not seen Devin Williams pitch. Devin Williams didn't pitch today in the doubleheader for the Yankees. And if you're just tuning in and you didn't hear that segment from earlier, the Yankees have demoted Devin Williams. He is no longer their closer, at least temporarily. Luke Weaver, who pitched a perfect 9th inning today in Game 2 of a doubleheader against the Blue Jays. It was a non-save situation because J.C. Escara, the backup catcher for the Yankees, hit his first career home run in the bottom of the 8th inning for New York. So it wasn't a save situation, but Weaver did complete his 14th inning of work this year, and he has yet to give up a run. He's a stud. But we haven't seen Devin Williams pitch. We didn't see him pitch today, which means I got to think that we're going to see him pitch tomorrow. And we know it's not going to be in a save situation because he's not the closer, but it could be in the 7th inning or the 8th inning. And it could also be in because it's going to be a lower pressure situation, but it could also be in a more lower pressure situation where the Yankees are either winning or losing by a couple of runs, whatever it is. I think Devin Williams is going to give up runs. I don't trust that he's going to go out there and shut down the opposition. All this guy has done this season is give up runs. And so, if the Yankees and Orioles, whatever total they're playing at, whatever the score is, when Williams comes into the game in the 7th or the 8th inning, if that's what Aaron Boone wants to do and put him into the game, I think he gives up runs. Plus, I don't trust Warren to limit the runs. I don't trust Saguano to limit the runs. I think we have an overplay here between the Yankees and the Orioles at Camden Yards coming up tomorrow. Elsewhere, Cardinals are at the Reds. Adrian Palante on the mound for the Cardinals. Nick Martinez goes for the Reds. Reds are -125. A's are at the Rangers. J.P. Sears on the mound for the A's and Patrick Corbin for the Rangers. Now, normally, this would be a complete fade spot for Patrick Corbin and the Rangers. And you might be going the A's money line, might be going the A's team total to go over, but I'm actually going to do something crazy in this game. I'm going to take the under 9.5 in this game, because I look at what the Rangers have done. Their offense has not been able to score. At home, this is the best under team in baseball. They are 12-1 to the under at home this year. And so it's kind of like a hold your nose type bet, because it's Patrick Corbin Day, but Patrick Corbin in his last time out looked pretty good. 5 innings, 2 runs allowed. The start before that, 5 1/3, only 1 run allowed. I think we play an under here in the Rangers against the A's. As crazy as that sounds on Patrick Corbin Day. Elsewhere, Tigers are at the Astros. Jack Flaherty for Detroit. Ronald Blanco for Houston. Detroit, a small road favorite. Braves are at the Rockies. Bryce Elder for Atlanta. And Ryan Feltner on the mound for the Rockies. And the Marlins visit the Dodgers. The Dodgers are minus 300 favorites here with Dustin May on the mound. Edward Cabrera going for Miami. That's your schedule for Major League Baseball here on Monday. We'll update you on everything going on in both the NBA playoffs and the Stanley Cup playoffs. Pacers a 30-24 lead at the end of the first quarter over the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Kings on the power play with a 1-0 lead over the Oilers as the first period, 3 minutes left to go in that first period. Well, the NBA playoffs are here. So is the VSiN Killer Sports NBA Playoff Challenge. That's right. We've invited 15 sharp minds from the world of VSiN and Killer Sports to go head-to-head, making 38 picks each from the start of the playoffs all the way through the NBA Finals. That's a total of 570 NBA playoff picks, and they're all available to VSiN Pro subscribers. And the picks lock in an hour before the start of the first game each day. As of right now, you can get full VSiN Pro access through August 1st for just $59, and you won't miss this playoff edge. Head to vsin.com/subscribe to sign up today. I'm Scott Seidenberg. This is Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back here on Live Bet Sunday, I'm Scott Seidenberg here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, as we are tracking the action in both the Stanley Cup playoff game in progress right now, the Kings and the Oilers in the first period. LA with a 1-0 lead with 1:30 left to go in that first period. Live total is back down to 5.5. I would still play the over 5.5. I'm telling you, this is going to be an over game. We have seen goals scored, and you're never out of the over with the empty net possibility. So I am all over the over in this game. I was on it when it was 6. I was on it when it went down to 5.5. I like the live bet at 5.5. This game is going over between the Kings and the Oilers. And if you have concerns, I mean, look no further than the game that we just saw finish before this game started. Canadiens and Capitals tied at, it was a 1-0 first period, right? The game was 1-0 at the end of the first, oh no, excuse me. It was scoreless at the end of the first period. Even better, scoreless at the end of the first period. Capitals go up 1-0. Canadiens score 2 unanswered to take a 2-1 lead going into the third period. Capitals tied at 2. Capitals take the lead with 4 minutes or so left, 3.5, whatever it was, left in the game, and then get 2 empty netters. That game was a scoreless first period that ended 5-2. We already got a goal in the first period. We're ahead of schedule here. 1-0 Kings over the Edmonton Oilers right now. I would play a live over 5.5 still. Co-sign that live bet. Meanwhile, the Pacers have a 38-31 lead over the Bucks in Milwaukee. They're in the second quarter there with 8 minutes to go in that second quarter as the Pacers look to take a commanding 3-1 series lead over Milwaukee. And right now, I don't want to say the game's over. Well, obviously, the game's never over. But like this first half is playing out the way that the first half played out in Game 3. The one thing that if you are a Pacers backer that you're hoping for is that they learn from their mistakes in the second half of Game number 3 and they don't allow the big comeback and the 70-point second half that occurred for Milwaukee in that Game 3. Which I don't think is going to happen because I don't think we're going to see Gary Trent Jr. making, 9 3-pointers like he did in that Game 3? What was he? He was from 9 of 12 from three-point range. Dude scored 37 points on 9 3-pointers in that Game 3. And the majority of those came in the second half. Well, in this game, not exactly a follow-up. He is 0 of 1 from three-point range. 39-31, Pacers lead the Bucks. During the commercial break, I did live bet the Pacers on the money line. It was minus 170 when I got it. Right now, your live line, obviously, it's 40-31 now after another free throw goes in. Much higher than that. It's minus 280. They are minus 6.5 on the spread. I wouldn't play that at minus 6.5. As it goes down, which I believe it will if, the Bucks start scoring here, if you get a number below 3, I would take it with the Pacers. Meaning I would lay it with the Pacers. If you get to a situation where you see the Pacers minus 2.5, minus 3, that's a bet I would make. Or if the money line gets lower and it's something that you're interested in the minus, like I did, minus 170 range, that would be a play that I would make. 42-35, Pacers lead the Bucks here, 7 minutes to go in the first half. Meanwhile, still, first period hasn't come to a close just yet. Seconds left as Edmonton's still attacking here. There's a face-off late in the offensive zone for Edmonton. I don't know how much time is left, but it doesn't look like there's enough to get something going here because I thought this period should have ended a while ago. And off the face-off, it looks like that's going to be the end of the first period. So, as we head into the first intermission, the Kings with a 1-0 lead over the Oilers. Your total is now at 5.5 plus 110 on the over 5.5. I would make this bet. This is a bet to be made. Live best bet. Over 5.5 plus 110. That's the bet. I can't say it enough. Live bet right now, first intermission, over 5.5, Kings and Oilers at plus 110 odds. Recapping what we saw earlier today in the Stanley Cup Playoffs, I talked about that Capitals win over the Canadiens by a score of 5-2, a game that was a 2-1 Canadiens lead going into the third period. So now Washington takes a commanding 3-1 series lead, and the series will shift back to D.C., and that game is coming up. I believe they have a 2-day break, so that game's coming up on Wednesday. And it'll be a 7 o'clock Eastern time puck drop in D.C. I do expect the Capitals to close it out on home ice here. I think this was you don't want to call it a back-breaking loss, but this was a tough loss for Montreal on home ice. You had all the momentum after winning game number 3 and all the extracurricular stuff that occurred after that game, with the fights and the benches clearing and everything going on, both goaltenders getting injured and banged up. You came into this game with your backup goaltender in Jakub Dobiš, with Sam Montembeault hurt. Logan Thompson was hurt, but he played through it. You had a 2-1 lead going into the third period. You let it slip away. I think this is a tough defeat to bounce back from Montreal going on the road here. Now to play the Capitals, I would expect the Capitals to close this series out on Wednesday. Elsewhere, we had the Blues, really just defending home ice, a 5-1 win over the Jets, as Connor Hellebuyck has, in 2 games here, not looked great in St. Louis. In fact, Hellebuyck gets pulled for Eric Comrie after allowing 5 goals on just 18 shots, and I like that move, because he needs to hit the reset button. He needs to get his head right. The series now shifting back to Winnipeg for game number 5, with the series tied at 2 games apiece. I like the bounce back. You have 2 days off now. This game will also be on Wednesday night. And I like Winnipeg at home here. And I think Winnipeg wins at home, takes a 3-2 series lead, and we'll see what happens in St. Louis in Game 6. Can the Blues force a Game 7? They absolutely can. But I'm not backing off my pick of Winnipeg to win this series. They have home ice advantage. This is a even series at 2-2. And right now, your live betting markets have the Jets at minus 185 to win the series. I'm not backing off my pick. I think they do win this series, and it starts with a win in Game 5 on home ice on Wednesday. Elsewhere, we saw... we had the game that occurred, as I mentioned. We're sweating out this one right now between Edmonton and LA. Carolina beats the Devils 5-2. This series is over. The Devils banged up they already without Jack Hughes, there's not much you're going to do in the Stanley Cup playoffs without your best player, without one of the best players in the entire NHL. That's something, even though other guys have had tremendous seasons, right? Jesper Bratt has had a great season for the Devils. He is a top 10, he's not a top 10 goal scorer, but he's up there. He's been a top goal scorer in this league. He's up there. He's not in the top 10, but he's up there. And Timo Meier certainly contributes. The goaltending has definitely gotten better with Markstrom in net. The Hurricanes are just too good. And they showed it, even in the loss in game number 3. The Devils took a 2-0 lead. They're down 2-0 in the series. They're on home ice. This was the perfect situational spot for the Devils. They had a 2-0 lead, and they let it slip away. The Hurricanes come all the way back, tie the game at 2. They force overtime. The game goes into a second overtime, and a fluke goal goes in. Devils win in 2 overtimes by a score of 3-2. And so now you fast forward to game number 4. Devils trying to get back-to-back wins, even up the series, and Carolina just really, from start to finish, dominates them. They had a 3-0 lead. Devils come back, make it a 3-2 game. Then it's 4-2. Empty netter makes it 5-2. Carolina will return home, and they will win this series. That game is coming up on Tuesday in Carolina, where the Hurricanes are a massive minus 270 favorite. I fully expect them to close out that series. Well, from the Stanley Cup playoffs to the NBA playoffs, so the VSiN Killer Sports NBA Challenge is up right now at vsin.com. 15 sharp minds from the world of VSiN and Killer Sports are going head-to-head, making 38 picks each from the start of the playoffs all the way through the NBA Finals. If you do the math, that's a total of 570 NBA playoff picks, and they're all available to VSiN Pro subscribers. The picks are locked an hour before the start of each game, the first game each day, so you got plenty of time to get all the bets in and help you every step of the way this postseason. Right now, you can get full VSiN Pro access for everything that we offer through August 1st for just $59. So don't miss this playoff edge. Head to vsin.com/subscribe and sign up today. Again, vsin.com/subscribe. I'm Scott Seidenberg. It's Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Well, Derby Day is almost here, so why not make your first bet your best bet? With First Bet, you can wager on Churchill Downs, Belmont Park, and tracks around the world, all from your phone. Go to firstbet.com, that's the number one, stbet.com, and enter promo code VSiN200 for a $200 sign-up bonus. Don't miss out. Bet smarter on the Derby with firstbet.com. Scott Seidenberg back here with you. This is Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, as I have just placed a live wager. My live bet that I have put in is going to be on, and different sports books offer this, so make sure, check your sports book and look for the price and look for what props are offered. I wanted to go second period over 1.5 goals between the Kings and the Oilers. Now, that is juiced at about minus 190 up on DraftKings. Other books actually have it at higher juice. Now, the book that I saw was lining it at 2.5, which I don't like it when they do that to me. But what I did see was a fun little prop for the second period. And that is both teams to score in the second period at plus 105. And so that's what I did. I did a live wager, plus 105, both teams to score in the second period. This is a game that I'm already on the over. I've told you guys to live bet the over now that it is reduced down to 5.5, and you can get plus 110 on the over 5.5. I like it to be, I like the over 1.5 goals to be scored in the second period, but I wanted to, a little plus money chase here on a live prop. I think we get both teams to score a goal here in the second period. So I went ahead and I placed a live wager, Both teams to score in the second period, plus 105. Check your sports books. See what props they offer you on the second period. I'm looking at DK right now. They got over 1.5, again, minus 190. And the only thing that they give you here on the second period is the three-way line. You can lay the goal and a half with the Kings or with the Oilers. Minus a goal and a half is plus 120. Plus a goal and a half of the Kings is minus 160. Your three-way line for the second period to be in favor of the Kings, plus 200. In favor of the Oilers, plus 120. For it to be a draw, it is plus 220. Out of those bets, the best bet for me would be the over 1.5 goals, but it's minus 190. I didn't feel like laying it, but I did do the both teams to score, yes, at plus 105 for the second period. So we'll keep an eye on that. Looking over at the NBA, and right now it is the Indiana Pacers with a 10-point lead, 55-45, with 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Your live line, Pacers minus 7.5, with a live total of 229.5. When this game closed, it was the Milwaukee Bucks who were lined as the short favorite. Actually got bet up to minus 4. Well, it opened up at 5, went down 3.5, then back up to 4. So they closed here at circa minus 4 with a total of 226.5. And where we stand right now is the Pacers with a live line of minus 7.5, and your live total 232.5. 58-47 the score now for the Pacers on top of the Milwaukee Bucks. Couple of breaks ago, I did live bet the Pacers on the money line, and I did recommend that if this spread gets lower, I would take a stab on the Pacers. Laying minus 3 to minus 4 would be the range that I would look at, but 7.5, 8 where it is right now, no play. But let's see how the rest of this first half plays out, see if we can get a second half bet prior to the show concluding. 2:29 left to go in the first half, 58-47. The Pacers lead the Milwaukee Bucks. We're waiting for the second period to get underway between the Kings and the Oilers, and once again, repeating my live bet, it was on the both teams to score in the second period. Got that at plus money, but if you wanted to bet the over 1.5 goals, that's another play that I like. It is minus 190 on DraftKings, and your live total for the game is at 5.5 at plus 110. That is a play that I would make. Let's take a look at the remainder of the end. We looked at the Stanley Cup Playoffs and the schedule for Monday. Let's take a look at the NBA playoffs. Recap what we saw today. Take a look at what we have coming up here on Monday. Well, the Knicks and Pistons go under 1 o'clock Eastern time. NBA playoff games under. It's an auto bet, okay? 15-2 since the start of the 2021 season. NBA playoff games that start at 1 o'clock Eastern time. It is 4-0 this year. And I think we're done. Because if I recall, when looking at the data from all of these games, I don't think we get them in the second round. I think they're only first round games. Because as we look ahead, let me look at the NBA schedule here for Saturday. It looks like we'll have, we're not going to have it. Because Saturday is the designated Game 7 days for that. Same thing with Sunday, Game 7s. So if a series does start early, I don't think we get the early start times. So if we do get an early start time, though, it's a bet. But I don't think we do. I think they're only in the first round because with less games, you're not going to start them early. You're going to have your primetime games. You're going to have your mid-afternoon games, like your 3 o'clock Eastern time starts, your 3:30 Eastern time starts, and then your nighttime, your primetime games at night. So you're not going to have the 1 o'clock Eastern time starts anymore. But something to file away for next year. The early start times in the NBA playoffs. But the Knicks do defeat the Pistons. A little bit of controversy at the end. Could there have been a foul called on the final shot attempt by Detroit? Absolutely. Was there contact made? Yes. Did the officials review the tape after the game and kind of apologize for it? Yes. Does it mean anything? No. Did I think watching the game in real time that they should have called the foul? No. I didn't want the officials to decide the game. And the entirety of that game, the refs let them play. They let them play. It was a very physical game. That's why it was so low scoring. It was a very physical game. I didn't want the refs to decide it and say, you know what, we're going to put him on the free throw line and let him shoot and win the game with no time left. No. So, good defense, tight defense. There was some contact made. I thought it was marginal. If I'm a ref, I'm not making the call. But no call was made. 94-93. The Knicks defeat the Pistons. They take a 3-1 series lead. And in the NBA playoffs, it's almost a certainty that when you take a 3-1 series lead, you go on to win that series. Elsewhere, we saw the Timberwolves take a 3-1 series lead over the Lakers, 116-113. Anthony Edwards, 43 points in this game as the Timberwolves disrespected by the markets. Everyone gushing over the Los Angeles Lakers with Luka. Looking at this series price now, I mean, take a look at this. Timberwolves minus 550 to win the series. Lakers are plus 370 if you think they're going to come back. Now, I actually like the Lakers in the next game, but I don't like them to come back and win the series because down 3-1, sure, they can be down 3-2. Do they win 3 games in a row here? I don't even know if they force a game 7, if we're being honest. Let's take a look at those markets here. So the series spread right now, or let's look at the games, exact games. For the series to end in game number 6, or excuse me, in game number 5, plus 170, which is basically betting on the money line on the Timberwolves, it's plus 180, plus 170, plus 180, depending on where you look. For the series to end in 6 games, that is your favorite at plus 130. So the Lakers get game number 5 at home. They go back to Minnesota. Lakers lose, and Minnesota wins the series. That is a plus 130 price. That is your favorite. For it to end in 7 games is plus 275. I don't think LA forces a game 7. I don't think so. And then the other result was the Celtics Magic game, which we were sweating out. The totals in that game, we did cash our Celtics team total at the half, but we lost our Magic team total to go under. So Boston takes a 3-1 series lead. They will end it at home in game number 5. We'll continue to update you on what's going on in Milwaukee and in Edmonton, plus best bets for Monday's slate of games coming up next. I'm Scott Seidenberg. You can hit me up on Twitter at Scott's On Air, SCOTTSONAIR. You can hit us all up on the network at VSIN Live. We are sweating out live bets, and we have best bets coming up. This is Live Bet Sunday here on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Scott Seidenberg back here with you. It's Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, and our live best bet is off to a good start, as in the first couple of minutes here of the second period, the Kings do get a goal, so it is 2-0 LA. And we have the bet on both teams to score here in the second period. So we are hoping for an Edmonton Oilers goal that will also go a long way into helping us hit our full game to go over 5.5, which was the best bet that we gave out early on in this first period. I told you I'm on the over 6.5. I'm on the over 6, over 5.5. So lots of opportunities here to get involved on this game between the Kings and the Oilers, as it appears the Oilers are on the power play right now. Would love for this power play to get a goal, As, again, 2-0 the Kings lead. A goal by the Oilers would cash our second period live bet and also give us the third goal of the game a long way towards cashing that over 5.5. And guess what? Corey Perry has scored a goal. Cash it. 2-1. Kings lead the Oilers. The best bet on both teams to score in the second period at plus 105 has cashed. If you laid the juice and went over 1.5 goals at minus 190, you cashed. And with 3 goals here with 15 minutes left in the second period, our live total right now in this game is at 7.5. So if you played the over 5.5, we're looking strong. We are looking strong. Here's what we have. Breaking news in the NBA. Damian Lillard has left the game for the Milwaukee Bucks, and the tweet coming out right now by Chris Haynes, reporting from Yahoo. Well, I don't know if he's on Yahoo anymore, but senior NBA insider Chris Haynes, quote, here we go. The sources. The fear is Bucks star Damian Lillard suffered a left Achilles tear. Brutal circumstances after working himself back from blood clot diagnosis that kept him out over a month. So Lillard went down with a non-contact injury. It looked like an ankle. Now, everybody on Twitter was speculating, could it be the Achilles? Is it the Achilles? All the doctors online are saying that it could have been the Achilles. Now we have a report here. Chris Haynes reporting on Twitter, quote, the fear is Bucks star Damian Lillard suffered a left Achilles tear, end quote. Whether that is the diagnosis or not, we know for a fact Damian Lillard will not return in this game. Right now it is at the half. The Pacers lead the Bucks 63-52. So they are up by 11. Your live line is Pacers minus 8.5. I did say that was too rich for me when I looked at it at 7.5 or 8.5. I wanted to get in at 3.5 or 4.5, something like that. But right now, I think we have to attack this. No Damian Lillard for the Bucks. This is a different team. And we saw it in game 1 of this series where the Pacers won 117-98 as the Bucks only managed to get 98 points without Damian Lillard on the floor. Game 2, Dame time returns. Pacers still win 123-115, but even though Lillard only scored 14 points, he contributed 7 assists, and the Bucks scored 115 points. The Bucks now have 52 points in the first half. Damian Lillard played 15 minutes. Damian Lillard played only 6 minutes, Only 6 minutes. 0 of 2 from the field, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. That's it. Here's what we got to do. We have to look at ways now that we can bet this. So, if we look at the second half line, Pacers plus 2.5 for the second half, total of 113.5. That's one way I can look at it. The other way to look at it, Bucks team total live is at 110.5. They scored 52 points in the first half. This number is not baking in the Damian Lillard injury. This is a standard number based on the live spread of this game, which is at 8.5. I don't think we get 59 points in the second half from the Milwaukee Bucks. And again, that is the math right now, right? So it's 111 would be 110 is your winner, minus the 52 they have right now. 58 points is your win for the under. 59 points is a loss. I do not see the Bucks scoring 59 points in the second half, even though they're home, without Damian Lillard. And again, look at game 1 of this series. They scored 98 points in that game. Yeah, they were on the road. Yeah, it was the first game of the playoffs, but no Dame. They only scored 98 points. My best bet right now, and best bets are brought to you by GBank, the official bank of VSiN. My best live bet right now would be Bucks team total under 110.5. Milwaukee Bucks team total under 110.5. If your book offers a second half team total as opposed to a full game team total, you're going under 58.5 points in the second half. Damian Lillard is out for the remainder of the game. The fear is a ruptured Achilles for Damian Lillard, which would be terrible circumstances. You don't want to wish that upon anybody, but without Damian Lillard, I don't see the Bucks scoring a ton of points here in the second half. So I would go live best bet under 110.5 team total for the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, from a player's prop perspective, looking at live player points, Giannis live points is 25.5. He only has 8. Now, there is no Damian Lillard. Who is going to score now for Milwaukee? Let's go back to game 1 here against the Pacers without Damian Lillard on the floor. The Bucks only scored 98 points. They were led by Giannis, 36 points. No other starter was in double figures. Off the bench, Gary Trent Jr. had 14 points. Kevin Porter had 12 points. AJ Green had 15 points. Brook Lopez had 9. Kyle Kuzma, 0. Ryan Rollins, 5. Looking at the box score right now, who's contributing for Milwaukee? Well, no one. But Giannis has 8 points. Kevin Porter leads the way with 15. AJ Green has 9. Kuzma's got 3. Brook Lopez has 6. Gary Trent has 3. Bobby Portis has 6. Jericho Sims has 2. Live player points, Giannis is at 25.5. If Giannis doesn't score 26 points, the Bucks aren't even going to be in contention in this game. We know that Gary Trent Jr. is going to chuck up some threes. Live player points for Gary Trent Jr. is at 9.5. He made 9 3-pointers in their last game. In this game so far, he is 1 of 2 from 3-point range with 3 points. If he makes 2 more threes, he's got 9 points for this game. And you know what? Forget about the 9.5 points. Maybe we just do live player threes. Let's see. Live player threes, Gary Trent Jr. is, let's get a number on him. Over 2.5 minus 115. There's your bet. Second live best bet. Gary Trent Jr. over 2.5 made threes. He already has 1. All he's got to do is make 2 3-pointers in the second half. No Damian Lillard. Someone's going to have to take shots. It's going to have to be everybody. But I don't think that they score. So, first best bet, live Bucks team total under 110.5. And second best bet, Gary Trent Jr. over 2.5 live made threes. Best bets are brought to you by GBank, the official bank of VSiN. GBank is upping the ante with up to a $750 bonus for new GBank Visa Signature Card customers. First off, new customers who spend $1,000 on eligible purchases within 90 days from account opening will receive a $250 bonus. And in addition, if you spend $50K on gaming and sports app loads within 30 days of account opening, you'll get another $500 bonus. Apply now at vsin.com/gbank. That's vsin.com/gbank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. Don't forget, coming up next, right here after Live Bet Sunday, cashing out with Joe Sorallo. And then tomorrow morning, wake up with VSiN by the books with Dave Ross and former Major League pitcher Jensen Lewis at 7 a.m. Eastern time. And then it's a numbers game with Gil Alexander at 10 a.m. Eastern. Bucks, no Damian Lillard. That's the breaking news. It is feared to be a torn Achilles. Our live best bet is the under 110.5 for the Bucks team total. The LA Kings have just scored another goal. Looking great towards our over there in Edmonton as well. I'm Scott Seidenberg. This is Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.